Hi everyone, Nick here with ILTS, and today I'm going to be going over part 3 of our Ikea Kitchen installation nightmare. So to this point, we're into January 2nd, 2019 at this point. Jade Stone, the contractor for Ikea's countertops, came in the last week and a half of December there and installed our new countertops. No thanks to them. They were going to offer us a little bit of a discount on new countertops, and we don't even know what that was going to look like or be how much, because by that point in time Ikea agreed to basically refund us for our old countertops and then rebuy the new ones for us, and then they would deal with Jade Stone on their end. So Jade Stone came and re-templated all the countertops. I wanted them to redo it all just to try and make it as perfect as possible the second time around. This time around, they look pretty decent. This side right here though is completely flush. It actually kind of overhangs a little bit, sticks out a little bit at the back. And then on this side, it's not even at all. So when we put the oven in, we're gonna have this, I'd say 3/4 of an inch gap on the right side. And then it's gonna be completely flush on this side. So it's still gonna look wonky. Wasn't done properly again. The seam looks pretty good. You can still actually see it though. And then when you get to the back here, you can actually really feel it. At the front here, not so much, but like I said, you can still see this seam pretty good. Unfortunately, that is just the way Jade Stone makes their countertops, or Caesar Stone, their parent company. On the front here of that seam, you can see this blue hazing. That's where there's the adhesive on the front here. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that off at all. I mean, you can see that it's blue compared to anywhere else. Like that bluish gray, just right in that area, right around their seam. Seam's right there. And it's just funny, like they don't put any adhesive on the bottom. I asked their manager that came out with the template guy the last time they came out. And I mean, you can see daylight shining all the way through these countertops because they're not actually sitting on anything. And when I asked if they don't put adhesive on the top of the countertops to secure them, he said no, because if you ever have to take them off again, you'll basically destroy the countertops. Well, I don't think that's true at all. I mean, you could take a multi-tool and quickly zip all the adhesive out of these, no problem. So it makes absolutely no sense to me. Jade Stone is also the ones who install the kitchen sinks, and part of Ikea's sink package for this are these dampener pads, which I had to spend an hour putting on myself. So if Ikea makes it, puts it in the box with the sink, and the countertop installation includes installing the sink, why aren't they responsible for installing this pad as well? Not sure. But it's done. And then let's move on to TFK. Well, TFK Renovations, who does their cabinet installations, is not very good at all. I am not impressed with them in any way, shape, or form. First time they came out and built the cabinets, we thought they were actually pretty good. They came in, they knew right away that some of the cabinets we had purchased weren't going to fit certain spaces. They ordered us the right ones, they installed them. That was almost 2 months ago now, and we still have panels on back order from Ikea. We're going on 2 months, so that's great. But on the other side of it is these brad nail holes that they've put, and you can actually see where they have marked up these cabinets from sanding them down You can see them clear as day. Their manager came out after their installer came a second time and was supposed to correct all of these issues. Like, they've actually drilled straight through the base of this thing with this screw right here. I pointed that out in another video, I'm sure. But, you know, stripped out all the bolts. That one's not too bad, but this one's completely stripped out. Come down to this one. Same thing. Every cabinet has this. They were supposed to fix this, correct this, make it look invisible. They've actually sanded off more of the finish, even along the sides here. We haven't used these cabinets at all. Over here, this is just unbelievable. They put this in the wrong spot and then just moved it over, and then they've filled it. It looked like garbage before, and then I pointed it out and they said that they could fix this up. Well, their second time around, they've actually sanded this down so badly that they've exposed the whole base. The under finish, pencil marks all over everything, no cleanup. And what they had to come out to replace was all these strips. They had actually put in high gloss white strips into all of these areas here. So they had these high gloss white strips on these matte white finished cabinets. It looked crazy, like it just looked so weird. And then their manager came out to review everything. So I pointed out to him all these nail holes that I've been going through. Brought him over here. Showed him how they moved this and completely marked up the wall where we need to get it repainted. Showed him how there's now massive screws holding these little panels on, which Ikea designs to be mounted from the back with these, but then TFK decides that they want to put brad nails in to try and get it as level as possible, and then destroy the inside surface of all your cabinets by putting these brad nails in and then sanding them down to the point where there's no finish left. Like, it's just crazy. So their manager starts talking to me about how it was too dusty in here. The guy didn't see what he was putting in. He thought they were the right color. All this stuff. And I'm thinking in my head the whole time, I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like, the guy's lying to me. This panel is 4 feet high by, what, 20 inches? We'll measure it. 15. It's a 15 by 48 panel that they had up in between those two doors right there. You can see all the brad nails that were shot into it all the way down, where they had the screws mounted to hold it in place. This thing is dusty right now, but it's as smooth as glass from the finish on it. So just being fed bold-faced lies to my face when we pay $3,000 for an installation by these guys is absolutely unbelievable. And then I bring up the fact that they've destroyed all the cabinet bases, that they weren't fixed like they said that they would be able to do, that the walls are even more marked up than they were the first time they were finished. And all he says to me is, well, it is what it is. And I said, it is what it is? I'm like, that is unbelievable. I'm like, we pay $3,000 for a professional installation. You guys destroy our cabinets, put in the wrong panels. You're lying to my face about the fact that he wouldn't have known that they were the right color. And then I bring up the fact that the guy that came to fix everything said he was done. And then I said to him, well, no, there's a gap in this bottom piece right here that is on an angle. And he said that cabinet was really hard to install. And it's level as can be. And I said, then put your level up to it and tell me if it actually is. So he puts his level in there and he's like, yeah, you're right. It's actually pretty out. And I said, yeah, no kidding. It's out. You can see it from across the room. So he was trying to get out of here. He ended up, after about a 3 or 4 minute arguing match with him back and forth, that he agreed that he was going to fix it. And on this side, this piece was delaminating. So I said to him, and what about this? He had just put caulking on the bottom of it and said that the glue would be good enough. Well, you can see where his glue is all the way up. And when he actually fixed the cabinet, he moved it back from his original installation. And before he left, he decided to put caulking along the top. And then after me and him were talking about it, he moved it. And now you have this caulking stain in front of the cabinet, all across our ceiling. These are brand new ceilings. You can see where he's pushed it back probably 1/4 of an inch. Scraped up all the walls where we have to get them repainted again. And TFK's manager says to us, it is what it is. Well, guess what? I asked him to leave. He then starts taking pictures, ignoring me. I then have to yell at him, get the fuck out of my house. At that point, starts laughing and saying, calm down. And I say, I'm not laughing. This isn't funny to me. We pay $3,000 for an installation and this is what we get. And you're telling me it is what it is. You're lying about the fact that these panels, he didn't know what he was installing. And you have to come back and take them apart and then destroy them more than they were the last time, with cuts and marks. And the guy was in such a hurry to get out of here that he doesn't even fix what he was out here to fix, and marks up everything even more so. I'm like, get the fuck out of my house. At that point, he finally left. And he said to me as he's leaving, make sure if you want us to come back and fix this, you just give me a call. I said, I'll deal with it from this point forward. I'm like, but you are never stepping foot in our house again, because every time you're in here, you destroy it more than it was the last time. So that's what you get with TFK Renovations. It's absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? Brad nail marks, sanded down, big nicks and scratches out of your brand new cabinets. Huge sand marks where they've put the wrong pieces in, and when they screw up, they don't buy new panels for you. What do? They leave them because they don't care. They're not liable for any of their screw ups. It's just on the person that paid them $3,000, on their boss, I guess. And these are the companies that IKEA, a multi-million-dollar company, is using for their kitchen installations when their customers are paying $10,000. Installing the wrong panels, lying about it to your face, telling you it is what it is when they destroy your cabinets, your walls. Countertops get ordered in the wrong color and their contractor refuses to honor any responsibility on their end, tries to put it all on the consumer, and then you have to go into a massive online social media battle with IKEA in order to get any of this resolved. Not worth it. And another thing to note is if you do decide to take the dance with IKEA through their kitchen installations or purchasing a kitchen and through them, if you buy an air vent from them, there is a few things to be aware of that they don't really talk to you about, especially depending on the one you get. Ours is kind of a freestanding one that's going to go up. It's going to have exposed tile on both sides. Well, their venting for that thing is 6 inches. It needs to be actually fairly high up in order to just be at their minimum requirements. And these are 400 CFM fans. So if your house isn't being fed with a air return system and you install this, you run the risk of potentially having your pilot light get blown out from the vacuum that will be created inside of your house from how much negative pressure will be caused from how much air this thing is forcing out of your house. So it's something to be aware of as well, that it's not just your cabinets. You're going to be having to modify likely your air vent, move it, relocate the wiring to be behind the flute or the shields that go up it. It's a big event. And then to be paying thousands and thousands of dollars to have your cabinets installed, and you hope for a professional installation. Like if you went into an Ikea showroom and you saw these brad nail marks, you saw holes being drilled through the back of their cabinets from the screws being put in too hard, no one would buy them. Absolutely no one would buy this stuff. It would look cheap, it would look dirty, it would be looking like they're just gonna look horrible when you're said and done with it. And there's absolutely no concern from IKEA's contractors at all. They just want your money. They want to get it done. They don't really care. Will they do it? Yeah, but do they care? No. Are they careful? Obviously not. Meticulous? Absolutely not. So really, at the end of the day, we are mediocrely satisfied with the outcome of this. Like, do we have kitchen cabinets that we like? Yes. But are we still waiting months for back-ordered product from IKEA? Yes. Did we have to go through a massive social media battle to get the right countertops from what we originally asked for and ordered? And were we lied to by their contractor to our faces? Yes. All of that. All of it. And then the TFK renovation builder destroying our cabinets with these massive drill holes, brad nail marks, marking up our walls, telling us that they didn't know what panels they're installing when they're 15 inches by 48 inches. High gloss. Putting them in matte white. Like, it's just never ending with these guys. Like I said, the ceiling. Brand new ceilings in here. They don't install the cabinet right, so they have to do it again. And then we get destroyed ceilings, walls. If I went into someone's house or into a public building and I started smashing holes into walls, scraping up the walls, I'd be held liable to do it. And when we're the ones paying these guys to do everything, it's acceptable apparently in the industry to have your walls destroyed, your cabinets destroyed, and be told it is what it is. So buyer beware from IKEA. I would not recommend it. Are they cheap? Yeah, but do you get what you pay for? Apparently. I hope you guys found this video helpful, useful, because at the end of the day, after IKEA has given us these new countertops, we have yet to hear from them if we're satisfied with it. We've had no follow-up whatsoever from anyone to make sure that we were happy with the way everything went. They're satisfied with just leaving it how it is. And that's absolutely ridiculous. Thanks for watching. Smash that subscribe button. Smash that like button. Drop us some comments if you have had any issues with your IKEA kitchen installations, orders, you name it. Put it in the comments below. Let other people know about your experiences with IKEA kitchens. Thanks for watching.